I think the main reason, well, first of all, I'm no economist, and I'm not going to pretend to be one, and I won't speak to the national economy. But what I'm sick and tired of hearing down in the democratically controlled governor's office is, well, you know, we're doing okay. The federal unemployment rate is 10%. We're only at 8.5, so we should be happy with that. That's not good enough. In my business world, I would go and turn around failing businesses. Now, by the way, I never claimed I did it for a Fortune 500 company. I never claimed I was a millionaire. I went out to businesses, usually small to medium business, and I would turn those businesses around. It's a unique skill set to go into a failing operation. Starting from scratch is difficult enough. I've done that too. But going into something that's failing and turning it around is a whole different experience. That's exactly the skill set that we need in the governor's office today, and that's what I bring. And we do it by adding up all of the above that I've talked about and getting our state economy turned around. I don't want to worry about what's happening back east or west. I want to worry about what's happening in Colorado and do what it takes with a conservative legislature to deregulate and lower taxes and strengthen the business community in our state.
What are your opinions on Amendment 60, 61, and Proposition 101? And if they do pass, how do you plan to adjust the state's budget to account for the extra budget gap?
Right. Well, I really empathize with the senator on this one. He had a difficult time answering it because the congressman has answered it 4 different ways in the last 4 different debates that we've been in. So I felt sorry for the senator trying to answer that one. You know, I don't think they're going to pass either. I do support one of the 3, and I agree that these exist because you're angry. If you're a conservative, you're angry and frustrated because the Democrats sidestepped Tabor, changed the tax to fee, and did what they did. I don't need to repeat what the senator said so well. If they pass, it's just going to be that much more cutting. It's that simple. We're going to have to look deeper and deeper into the budget and cut past the muscle and probably into the bone if these 3 pass. Now, if we were flush, if our state was strong financially, I would be in favor of all 3 of these, but we're not. We're in a very difficult situation with somewhere around $1 billion in shortfall already. If these pass, it could be anywhere from another $500 million to a couple billion to deal with. And that's something I don't think our state should be dealing with right now. if you broke them all up into little pieces, there's really not a piece of them I don't like. But I don't like them all 3 at the same time right now.
What do you believe that the fundamental role of the American Constitution is in today's society? Do you think it is important to celebrate the Constitution on Constitution Day? If so, why don't we make it a requirement as part of high school?
Well, actually, there is a law in the Senate, you might remember the number, but Bill Ritter did implement a law and an order that said our Constitution must be taught in our schools. I don't think he gave much of an infrastructure or a plan for it, so maybe we could go one step further and see that there's an actual plan that the Constitution is taught. On Constitution Day is a great suggestion. Why not do that? And we have to give a roadmap, maybe through the State School Board of Education, down to our school superintendents and districts to say, here's how you're going to manage teaching the Constitution on Constitution Day in our schools. The Constitution is, in my opinion, much like Scripture, is God-breathed. That's how sacred I think our Constitution is. And it has to be the foundation of our government. Same thing in state government. And I want to be a strong 10th Amendment governor. It is time we stopped asking permission from Washington and started doing what's right in the state of Colorado for the state of Colorado. And I don't mind being as bold to say, if someone has a drilling permit for the Roan Plateau, then go ahead and drill. And if Ken Salazar doesn't like it, he can come visit me in Denver. Because it's time we stopped asking permission and started being bold like Jan Brewer was in Arizona. And that means we just might get sued once or twice. But if we don't test the edge, if we don't find out where the edge of these rights are, we'll never know. And that's how I want to stand up for our Constitution, state level and federal.
What is your stance considering Senate Bill 10-191, the school bill again, that passed in the last year. How do you plan to expand on or change that bill to make more of schools better?
I thought 191 was good, but sometimes I look at decisions as to the motives behind them, why we're doing something. And the senator again articulated this very well. The motive behind 191 was corrupt. The end that we're after is appropriate. But the reason it happened is because a Democrat sponsored it who was chasing millions of dollars in Washington to bring down more federal money and more strings attached and more regulation into our state when it comes to our children's education. And that was the wrong motive for doing so. The right motive was teacher accountability. And again, he articulated it well. You don't get a break if you do a bad job 2-3 years in a row, do you? If you're in the private sector, you're going to go home. Well, now, teachers have to face that same accountability. Now, how do we move forward? I don't think it's a perfect bill, but it was a first step to accountability and addressing tenure, which was huge. But now there's going to have to be more information coming from, forgive me, the name might be the Education Advisory Council. There's a group out there that advises the governor and other groups about what the right practices are in K-12. So that group will help formulate further legislation, I'm sure, that will refine that to be even a better piece. So I liked it. I didn't like chasing the race to the top, but I do like the end that it's producing for us. All right, very good. Closing remarks. Again, thank you all for coming out, and Braden, again, congratulations on putting something together that's really important for the community. We have a great race in this governor's race. If you don't like it, just give it 24 hours and something will change and the dynamics will change. Folks, we've got to get serious about this governor's race, okay? There is a Republican nominee for governor, and there's a Democratic nominee for governor. And any Ross Perot's in the mix always cause a split. And a minor party candidate never wins. Never. And any vote other, if you're a conservative, and you want to vote for a conservative Republican and have any chance of winning, any chance, you must vote for Dan Maes. A vote for a minor party candidate is a vote for John Hickenlooper. Now, we can debate Dan Maes and the minor party candidate until the cows come home, but this is about an executive role in the governor's office, and you deserve someone with managerial, sales, business development, and executive experience to fill this role. It is not time to gamble on the governor's office. A vote for a third-party candidate will always create a loss, no matter how dynamic or entertaining or volatile that great personality is. You cannot win the governor's office as a conservative if you vote for a minor party candidate. So if you want to meet me one-on-one, you want to talk to me in my office someday, if you're not a Dan Maes supporter, but you need a little help getting there, I'm accessible, and that's another reason why we've done so great in this race. So we will continue getting out there, continue meeting folks. Our radio ads started last week. Our TV ads will start early next week, and we doubled our fundraising in the last 2 weeks over the previous 2 weeks. We will never have the money of a Tancredo. We will never have the money. You gave him an extra half minute or so. I'm going to take mine now. And I'll never have the money of a John Hickenlooper. It won't happen. But dollar bills don't vote in 2010. You do. That's why we're going to win, and that's how we're going to win. Thank you for giving me some extra time. God bless you, Dan Maes, for governor. Have a good night.